Okay, hi guys, I'm back. I'm going to today look at the second day of the second worksheet. So this molar mass worksheet, I'm going to do a few examples of this, and then there was a part 2 to it, which I think for you guys is just this page, which had a few questions in it. I think yours is more spread out, but I have it shortened so it'll fit on one page. Okay, so let's start with the molar mass. So you have this as your worksheet, and I'm going to pick 2 or 3 to do. So I'll do 3 of them. I'll do them as we go. I'll get some paper and we'll go along here. So let's find the molar mass of these substances. So super easy one. I'll start with number 1 to show you again the example. So here comes the paper. So this is worksheet. It says molar mass. Okay, and so this is this was in task 4. Okay, so worksheet molar mass. Let's look at this. How do I do it? Number 1, it's CaO. That's on your worksheet right there. You can see number 1, CaO. How do I find them? Sorry, it should be a little bit closer together, like it's all one molecule. CaO. How do I find out the molar mass of this? Well, this one's super easy because I only have 1 calcium and 1 oxygen. So that's easy. Let's look up calcium. Periodic table, I look, it's 40.08 grams. Oxygen, periodic table, up here on the right, it's 16. And I only have 1 of each, so I didn't even have to multiply it by anything. So I add these 2 things together. So this one you can even do in your head. 56, or you can use your calculator, whatever you want. 56.08 grams. Okay, so the conversion unit on this is 1 mole of CaO is equal to 56.08 grams of CaO. That's what we found it to be. Okay, that's the bunk bed pair. We're going to use this later on. I'll bring this back. I'm going to do another one that's a little bit harder on the worksheet. I'm going to do this one. This one looks hard. Ooh, let's do number 10. That looks really hard. Number 10, BAMNO4 brackets 2. So I'm going to write that down. Let's do number 10. BA, open the bracket, MNO4, close the bracket 2. All right, let's find the molar mass. So first I have to find out what elements are in here and how many of each element do I have. Well, I have 1 barium. That's pretty easy to see. There's no number after it. So I know I have 1 barium. Okay, let's look at this. I've got 2 MnO4s. So you can do this by multiplying it out. You can say, okay, there's 2 times the little one that would be here, pretending. 2, and you multiply it just like you would in math. You say, okay, now I've got 2 Mn's. And then you got to multiply these O's. 2 times 4 is 8, so I've got 8 O's. Okay? Or, if you don't like that, I'll show you another way. If you had BAMNO4 bracket 2, you know you've got a BA, so you just kind of ignore that for a second, and you write this out twice. You say, I've got MNO4 and another MNO4. I've got 2 of them. So then you can easily see out of this, you have 2 MNs, 1, 2, and 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 O's. So that's another way you can do it if you like to see it written out like that versus the little multiplication I showed you. Either way, you're going to end up with this. 1 BA, 2 MNs, 8 O's. So let's figure this out. We have to find the molar mass. So 1 of what's the molar mass for BA? It's right here, 137.33. MN, we have to find our MN right here. 54.94. I've got two of them. 54.94. And I've got 8 oxygens. And oxygens are 16. These are all grams. Okay? So then we gotta multiply these out and add them. The first one's easy because I only have 1. 1 times 137.33 is 137.33 grams. So then we have to do the second one. 54.94 times 2. I got 109.88 grams. And then I have to do 8 times 16. 128.0 grams. Then I have to add all those up because I need the mass of the whole thing. So I take my calculator, I go 137.33 plus 109.88 plus 128. And I get 375.21 grams. So my conversion unit is 1 mole of BA, open the bracket, MnO4, close the bracket 2, is equal to 375.21 grams of the same thing, MnO4 bracket 2. Okay? This is my conversion unit. We're going to use these numbers on the next part. We're going to use these conversions. Okay? So that's number 1 and number 10, the easiest on the worksheet and the hardest on the worksheet. Page 2 worked with these a little bit more as well. So let me grab page 2 and see if it used these ones. And maybe it didn't. Probably should have looked at that. Okay, we have that. So number 11 on the second part, same worksheet packet, everything's the same, it's just the next page. Number 11, let's look at that. How many moles are equal to 89.23 grams of calcium oxide? Let's write that down. They gave us, what's our known? This is number 11. Our known is 89.23 grams of calcium oxide. What their unknown is, it asked us how many moles. Okay, so how many moles do we have? So we need a conversion factor between grams of CaO and moles. Well, we found that on the last sheet. We found it right here. We already did the math, so we're going to use this. So I'm going to use this conversion factor that I found. 1 mole of CaO is equal to 56.08 grams of CaO. That's my conversion factor. Okay, so let's look. What do we always do? We always take our known and put it over 1. So I say 89.23 grams of CaO over 1. Put the bunk beds out, or you can do it this way. CaO, sorry, the O should be bigger, times something. You always put it over 1. This means the same thing. So what goes on the bottom bunk, what goes on the top? How do I know what to do? I use this conversion factor right here, and I say, okay, grams of CaO, I need that on the bottom because I need to cancel it out. So I say 56.08 grams of CaO. Just a sec, my kids are yelling. Hang on. Excuse me, I'm making a video, and it's super loud. Okay, had to quiet my kids, sorry. 56.08 grams of CaO would go on the bottom, and 1 mole of CaO would go on the top. This is the bunk bed pair from this conversion factor. Same as I had taught you the day before. So what units? It would be the same thing here if you like to do it this way. Grams of CaO get to cancel. Grams of CaO. Same here. This is just 2 ways to do it. In case you don't like the bunk bed, you can do it this way. It doesn't matter. So now I get an answer. How many moles is that? So let's look. Let's do the math. 89.23 times 1. I don't have to do that. And 1 times the 56.08. I don't have to do that. So all I have to do is take 89.23 and divide it by 56.08. What does that give me? 1.59. And what's the unit that's left? Moles of CaO. That's the answer. Okay? And so hopefully you guys can follow that one along a little bit and kind of understand what I did. I'm going to do number 10 because it's the same. We're going to find another question and I'll do a second example of this. Okay, I'm going to flip this over and we're going to do number 14, not number 10. The question on number 14 is, how many moles are equal to 13.25 grams of barium permanganate, BaMnO4 bracket 2. We already figured this guy's conversion factor, so we're going to use that. Okay, so let's look. How many moles? So our unknown, how many moles are there? Okay, are equal to, our known is 13.25 grams of BaMnO4 bracket 2. Okay, so that's number 14 question. Okay, so 2 minutes ago, we found this conversion factor when we did all this work to find the grams of BaMnO4. So I'm going to write that conversion factor on this page because we already did the work for it. And these two sheets kind of work together, so you don't have to do the work twice. 375.21 grams of BaMnO4 bracket 2. Okay. This is our conversion factor or bunk bed pair. So how do we start this question? Always, always, always take the known and put it over 1. So I've got 13.25 grams of BaMnO4 bracket 2. Put it over 1. I'm going to do the bunk bed, or you can do the crisscross down the bottom, wherever you like. What goes on my bottom bunk? Out of these two things, I'm trying to cancel grams of BaMnO4. So what goes on the bottom bunk? Grams of BaMnO4. So I'm going to put 375.21 grams BaMnO4 bracket 2. Putting that guy there. What goes on the top? The other side of the conversion factor. 1 mole of BaMnO4 bracket 2. Okay. That's our setup. What's going to be the math on that? Well, we get to cancel grams of barium. We get to cancel the grams here. That gets to go away. The only unit we're left with is moles. Okay, which is what we were looking for. Moles of barium. This is permanganate. That's what that's called, barium permanganate. Okay, and so this times 1, I don't have to do anything with because it's just a 1. 1 times this, I don't have to do anything with. So all I get to do is go 13.25 right here divided by 375.21 gets me 0.0353. What's my unit? Moles of barium permanganate. Okay, this is my answer. So sometimes in this, it's like a 2-part problem. Sometimes you have to solve first to find out the mass of whatever you're working with and then switch it to moles. All right. So the other day when I told you guys to keep this cheat sheet. I'll move this. The other day I said to you guys, this is what I would have written on the board. I would have said 1 mole is 6.02 times 10 and 23 atoms. Formula units, molecules, donuts, it doesn't matter. And I use the example 1 year is 365 days because these are all conversion factors. There's another one I want to write down that we're just learning right now. What you're learning right now is the molar mass of a compound in grams from the periodic table is equal to 1 mole of that compound. The molar mass of a compound in grams from the periodic table is equal to 1 mole of that compound. That sounds scarier than it is. It's one more conversion factor we'll be working with. All that is this stuff that you just did. 1 mole of this compound is equal to its molar mass from the periodic table. 1 mole of CaO is equal to the mass from the periodic table of CaO. All the thing that I just wrote down right here just means you can do that with any compound. It doesn't matter if it's CaO or barium permanganate, hydrogen chloride, anything. It doesn't matter. If you find the mass of that, which we did here, it's going to equal 1 mole of that. That's a new conversion factor, and it applies to everything. The molar mass of a compound in grams from the periodic table, just to give you a tip, is equal to 1 mole of that compound. Okay, so we're going to be working with more and more and more of this. So I helped you on this sheet with number 11, and 14. And on this side, when we were doing molar mass, I did number 1 and number 10. So you guys should practice a couple. The answer keys are there. Practice it through. If you have questions, you want to zip me a line, that's great. I will do this in class on Tuesday. And Tuesday at 1, we have a class meeting. And if you want one-on-ones after that, just let me know. All right? All right, we'll talk soon. Thanks. Have a good night. Bye-bye.